Hello. It's the 7th of March, 2013. And I was at one of the branches of the library here and a few days ago and saw this poster about this visit and speech by Tariq Ramadan, a guy who can speak the French very... Oh, that's more Italian. He can speak the French very good. Although that accent was maybe a little more Italian. But anyway, he knows how to speak the French very good. He can speak like a smart person from France. Very nice. And maybe not from Italy, where they cook the spaghetti. So anyway, this Ramadan guy, his grandfather, apparently, according to online reports about the issue, such as Wikipedia, founded the Muslim Brotherhood, a very special organization that helps turn young boys into suicide bombers. Isn't that nice? So that they can get 72 virgins in the afterlife. If you want some reference on that, well, go and do a Google search for Tariq Hamid and the Secular Islam Summit. On YouTube, the Center for Inquiry has a video of this guy who was a member of the Muslim Brotherhood, and he said that because dating was so impossible inside of the Muslim Brotherhood type Islamic culture, that it drove some of them to think, well, hey, the only place I can get a woman is in the afterlife. Huh? So anyway, this theocratic, dictatorial, human spirit destroying group, the Muslim Brotherhood, was founded by this so-called Islamic intellectual. And so, anyway, then the guy grew up in Sweden because the Muslim Brotherhood dudes got kicked out of Egypt. And so, his grandfather founded the group, and then his father was a prominent member of the group, but then this guy is supposed to be a great reformer. And all of the lefty peacenik groups glom onto him and say, well, hey, Islam is a religion of peace. Yeah, Mohamed, great advocate for social justice. Another dumb shit concepts. Speaking, excuse my French, on that front. Anyway, so in France, the guy has this lady who's criticized him, and I'll post a link to her book on my blog. I think her name's Carolyn Foret or something, but anyway, you can check out the link. Carolyn is her first name, I'm pretty sure. But I think her book is called Brother Tariq. And so I was reading also the introduction to Ayon Hersey Alley's book Infidel. Actually, it's a foreword by Christopher Hitchens. And in there, Hitchens talks about how he asked Ramadan whether certain parts of Sharia law, you know, what about certain parts of Sharia law, like, I don't know, killing the heathen, or you know, and some stuff about women, bad stuff. And so, anyway, Ramadan's basic point was that the bad parts of Sharia that advocate for these things should basically be suspended, you know, not discounted, not called out for being wrong and stupid, but just quote-unquote suspended. Yeah, let's suspend killing the heathen and killing the adulterer or the person who has sex outside of marriage. Let's just suspend those things, you know, and maybe later we'll reenact them, you know, once we have enough Muslim people in the population who want Sharia and enough people who've been brainwashed by the Saudi brand of Islam. You know, once we have enough of those people, then we can maybe reinstate it, huh? What do you think about that, Tariq? So I watched a debate between Tariq and Ramadan and Christopher Hitchens, and anyway, then Tariq commented in there that, people who say that I speak a doublespeak cannot have a conversation with them. That is not the end of the conversation. Well, that's nice. Maybe it's the end of the conversation with you, but it's not the end of the conversation with people who think that you're basically trying to hoodwink people. And how is it hoodwinking people? Well, let's see. I've been in meetings where the peacenik lefties get up and say, and I'm saying this as a lefty myself, but I'm just using these terms just to indicate that, yeah, I agree with the righties that there's problems also with these people. And so anyway, the peacenik lefties, they glom onto this idea that Islam is a religion of peace. Not because it is, but because they want it to be so much. We just want it to be a religion of peace. Please, please, please. Let it be a religion of peace. Because we hated the Iraq War so much. Oh, and we don't like George W. Bush. Please. Let Islam be a religion of peace. That's what the position of the peacenik lefties is on this issue. And people like, I don't know, there's basically a whole movement within being funded by Islam and Islam advocates to claim this. You know, Mohamed was a nice guy to people, and he didn't kill everybody, he just killed some people, and the people who he killed, well, they deserve to be killed, and stuff like that. And marrying a 6-year-old and having sex with her at 9, well, everybody did that back then, so that just makes it okay. No problem. He was such a great advocate for social justice. He treated his wives really good. And he said, well, don't beat your wife unless she does this and that. And if you have a modern interpretation of the Quran, you can change it to, well, just spank your wife instead of beat her. Yeah, spank. Spanking is better than beating, huh? If your wife doesn't conform to the will of Allah. So, anyway, back to this thing sponsored by, where they're inviting Tariq Ramadan to come in and speak. And I noticed that, I looked at the sponsors of the group, and I could see that there's, you know, the Gandhi Alliance for Peace, is a sponsor of the group. The University of Utah, the City Library, and some other foundation for peace. How can we have peace with the Muslims? Let's ask the guy who's the grandson of the guy who founded the Muslim Brotherhood. Oh, and the guy who can speak with the French accent in a very smart way and can make a very slick presentation to the people. He can speak it very slick and very nice and can try to convince you that Islam is for peaceful. Now, I agree that Tariq has actually said that Islam is not a religion of peace because humans are not peaceful and that religions are not peaceful. But he has claimed that Islam can guide you toward peace. Oh, he got to slip that in there. Islam is not a religion of peace, but it can guide you toward a peace. And how can it do that? Does Islam guide you toward peace when it bags all the women? Huh? And when it tells you that you can't even go on a date, can't touch a woman's hand, can't have sex outside of marriage, or otherwise you're going to get killed. The only way you can have a date is to do jihad and kill someone so you can get 72 virgins in the afterlife, huh? And once again, if you don't believe what I'm saying, well, just go listen to Tariq Hamid. Once again, Center for Inquiry, Secular Islam Summit. It's like part 2, number 1, or some such thing. But anyway, I'm sure you can find it, and I will also put a link on this post, and I put his video on previous posts also. So anyway, you can do that, but don't let these people who have read a lot of books and who go to speak to people and who are really kind of slick salesman types hoodwink you. Even if you didn't like the Iraq War, even if you didn't like George W. Bush, even if you don't even think the war in Afghanistan's of any value, even though 3,000 people in New York died on 9/11. Well, why did they die? Because otherwise highly educated people their brains were still in the mimetic prison of Islam. And as far as adding on ism this, Islamism, Islamist, political Islam, there's a difference between the religion and culture. Look, let's just keep it simple. KISS. Keep it simple. We're just talking about ideas. Sets of memes. Is a set of memes helpful to a person, or does it hinder them? Does a set of memes say you have to shut up and not speak the truth, not have any humor, not state that the emperor has no clothes, or does it tell you to shut up on pain of death? Huh? It doesn't matter whether that meme set is a religion or a political system or a cult of personality about Stalin or whatever. It's a meme set that your brain is in a prison of. So that's why we need to examine what everybody says, including this guy who's being glommed onto by the lefty Amy Goodman
who else? I don't know. Just these people who, I don't know. The left, the ultra-left can be a religion just like the ultra-right has a religion. So question your ideas wherever they come from and don't be sucked into cults of personality. That's the bottom line. And maybe Tariq Ramadan can help some people be more moderate. But if you go on there and examine debates between him and Hitchens, between him and Ayan Hirsi Ali, even between him and Irshad Manji, maybe your perspective will be expanded about about how what people say matters. We don't just need to suspend Sharia. We need to reject it. Okay? And reject the hadiths and the Quran's statements about having heathens burn in hell, and about all these things you're supposed to do to women, and about having slaves, and all this other stuff, okay? Yeah, so that's that. So I'll post more relevant links about this so you can check it out. Okay, have fun.